Hello, and thank you for joining Workday webinar towards growth and optimism, lessons for success in HR transformation. I'm Rashmi, your host for today's webinar. Recent events have disrupted the way businesses operate and the way people work. With uncertainty as a norm, one thing is clear. Organizations must adapt swiftly to remain relevant and successful. As a result, HR must also transform and leverage technology to drive deeper business partnering. Today, we're excited to have a panel of experts join the conversation. They will share with us how HR teams are changing the ways they support the workforce and measuring business impact as they undertake HR digital transformation. Before we begin, there are some things to keep in mind. Please be advised that this webinar is being recorded. All attendees will be placed on mute. At the bottom of your screen, there are multiple application engagement tools you can use. They are resizable and movable, so feel free to move them around to get the most out of your desktop space. Should you have any questions at any time, please type it in the Q&A box and we will endeavor to answer them during the Q&A session. And last but not the least, we have prepared a quick feedback and survey form. So please do give us your feedback regarding the webinar towards the end of the session. Completed forms will receive a token of appreciation from Workday. Before we get into the heart of the discussion, let us have a quick introduction of our speakers on the call. And I'll start with myself. I'm Rashmi, Value Manager at Workday. The value management practice is a team of business consultants that partner with organizations to help evaluate the business outcomes they can expect as they embark on their tech-led business journeys. While my own journey at Workday began 10 months ago, I have considerable experience in supporting technology led transformations and advising C suite in various consulting and industry advisory roles. I'm also pleased to have Kun Kitima join us today to bring the view of the HR practitioner. Welcome, Kun Kitima.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kitima Chatlek. I am Head of HR Human Resources Management at Advanced Info Service Public Company Limited in Thailand. Nice to meet you all today.
I am also pleased to have Kun Jirapol join us today to bring his views and experiences on the topic for today. Welcome, Kun Jirapol.
Thank you, Rashmi. Good morning. My name is Jirapon Tangtasawat. I'm a partner in workforce transformation practice in PwC Southeast Asia Consulting. I have been helping clients to design and implement digital HR solutions as part of their HR transformation journey.
Also with us is Nikki Wakefield, Global Financial Services Advisory Leader from PwC. Welcome, Nikki.
Thank you so much, Rashni. It really is a pleasure to be here with you today. Thanks for the opportunity to have this conversation. As you said, I lead PwC's global financial services advisory business. My personal areas of real passion and expertise are in the workforce space around organizational and digital transformation, and particularly in HR. As you can probably hear from my accent, I'm an Australian. I'm based in Singapore and have been here for the last 8 years. And I've also lived and worked in both the US and the UK. So I've basically spent the last 28 years working with clients to help them drive organizational and digital transformation, specifically with a focus on people and HR.
Thank you all, and welcome to our webinar, everyone. We've seen the world coming to a more cautiously optimistic position with regard to the COVID-19 pandemic. Notwithstanding the latest news on Omicron, businesses are now looking forward with optimism towards a return to growth with the prevalence of vaccines and therapeutics. Businesses have been quick to respond, and digital has been at the forefront as a key enabler. But this hasn't been an easy journey for organizations and businesses. Workday recently commissioned a study of CHROs, and the results were quite interesting. It showed that managing and engaging a remote workforce, which has been feeling increasingly burnt out, is proving a difficult challenge. Driving operational efficiency is an area of strong focus, and to achieve that, managing employee productivity is a key factor. Not having the right people is a key inhibitor to their growth strategy, as businesses have said. Now, all of these point towards having a stronger, more engaging employee experience. And right at this point, I would like to bring in Nikki. Nikki, if I could ask you a question. As a leader in the HR advisory space, what are the trends that PwC is seeing in the market?
we recently conducted a future of work and skills survey, and there were three main trends that key business leaders talked about. The first one was about replacing humans with technology. The second one, which we're hearing a lot about from business leaders, is all about upskilling for this new digital world. And then the third one is about bridging between the traditional and the digital workforces, so the human and the digital workforces. And maybe let me elaborate on a couple of those things. So I think with the availability of affordable technologies, whether it's RPA, artificial intelligence, cloud, digital, and data, there's really been an opportunity created, and I think also a challenge to redesign business models. So our clients are working through, how do they successfully implement a digital workforce in their organization? And of course, how do they take advantage of the synergies between people and machines working side by side? So if we focus on the traditional workforce to begin with, us humans, there are significant concerns from leaders around upskilling the workforce. In order to both master working in this new digital environment from a technology perspective, but also beyond that, moving people beyond the traditional process type skills and capabilities to what we call the really human skills and capabilities like collaboration and more complex problem solving. So the survey showed that barely 25%, barely 1 in 4 business leaders really have a good grasp of what these future skills are all about. And our recommendation is that business leaders now need to start thinking about what are these skills that are required. They're no longer skills for the future, they're skills for now. Because that's going to be essential in really putting together these upskilling programs. And I think the last point I would make is, in this era of hyper-personalization, creating new employee experiences is really key in bridging between traditional and digital workforces. So with new technologies comes the upside that employees have better tools, better support around them from a digital perspective to be more effective and productive. They're excited about new business and operating models. And particularly what we're hearing is that they're excited about the new ways of working and some of the flexibility that comes along with that. I think the opportunity is for leaders to shape the employee experience, to have a positive impact on employee engagement, because we all know that an improved employee experience and engagement leads to better business outcomes.
Thanks for that, Nikki. It's interesting that Nikki mentioned employee experience, as this is a trend we have also seen from the AchieveNext survey. Typically, the response to improving employee experience has been to deploy digital platforms, but that isn't always a successful strategy. I have a question linked to that for Kunjerapol. Kunjerapol, what has PwC been seeing in terms of the maturity of HR transformation globally and specifically in our region?
In another recent workforce strategies benchmarking survey report, we measure 5 areas of workforce strategies. 1, planning. 2, purpose. 3, technologies. 4, talent. And 5, organizations. Companies in Asia Pacific responded that are making technology-related investments, and they are in the leading maturity levels. Around 30% of the responses said they are doing very well in the planning, technologies, and organizations. However, only 18% say they are leading in the purpose and talent management. Around 50% of these companies are either foundations or developing strategies for these 2 areas. It shows that the investment focuses on the efficiencies of the organizations, achieving corporate API and targets, but did not focus enough on the soft side of the purpose and employee development. This is in line with your findings in the AchieveNext survey, which said more than 30% of the strategic factors to achieve company growth were improving on operation efficiencies, where only 18 and 12% are focuses on the human capital investments and employee upskill were considered the strategic factor. In short, it's good that companies are investing in technology-related projects to help the employees work easier and better. However, employee experiences require more than technologies. It requires proper strategies to get the employee to see the purpose of the company and they feel they are engaging and growing together with the company success.
Now, let us shift gear and hear about the HR transformation at AIS from Kunketima. AIS has been moving from being a mobile operator to being a digital service provider via a multi-year transformation journey. Kunketima, if you could please tell us about the workforce-related challenges you have faced as the head of human resource management at AIS and the business triggers that led to the decision to change and transform.
Thank you, Rashmi. AS is a 30 years old company. We are the number one telecommunication in Thailand. Back in the 2015, our CEO announced a new vision as to become the most admired digital service provider in Thailand. This is a huge change for AIS, transforming from mobile or telecommunication to digital service provider. So they initiate many things regarding to the transformation internally and externally. Internally, we are found on two key challenges within AIS for during the transformation. The first one is to release ourselves from the from the mindset as we are the number one and very successful for the in the past 30 years. It has become the barrier for us to block us from moving forward to the future as we are very successful and we are number one, so we are stuck with the not developing our new idea and also tend to apply the same method in doing the business. This is also a big blind spot for all the organization to lose the opportunity to your competition opportunity in the market. This is the first one. On the second challenge, this is related to the HR department. From the perspective of the HR nature of work, it is perceived as a support function, not on the business partnering. So the people strategy has not been applied. So if HR itself we cannot disrupt ourselves, it's also very difficult for us to disrupt the organization as well. So during the transformation, we have the quite a tough journey. Executive and also the top management initiate so many things. Our CHRO also initiate the new digital service or the new digital life cycle for our employee to enhance their digital life bit by bit. And Workday is the latest one that we implement back in the December 2020 in order to manage and apply the digital employee service process. As I say, it is the not the easy, it's quite a tough because we would need to require most of the behavior change in the organization. The key change would be we moving from the on-premise system to be the on-cloud system. The system empower our manager to manage their own team data by themselves anywhere, anytime, right? Also enable our people to manage their own data as well. And also transform HR from the supporting function to be the business partnership. Based on the implementation guideline, our CSRO requires on the zero customization. So it means the HR team would need to review, adjust, and also change our working procedure to fit with the global standard. So this is really emphasize that we adjust ourselves to the platform, not make the platform fit our not make the platform fit our people, right? Because we believe that the system that we have is a global system and already have the simplify and the good standardization across the globe. When we implement the workday, it's happened. Our go live time is happened in December 2020, which is during the pandemic of the COVID-19. This is also bring to us the huge challenge again. um, Fortunately, we implement some of the digital transformation and also apply many digital tools to our people before. So it's bring us to shift the mindset from need that we can work remotely and also successful deliver the projects as well. So if you ask me what would be the key success factor on the HR transformation in the past few years, I would say on the three things. One is on the transformation. HR transformation is not only the HR agenda, it is also become the company agenda as part of the digital transformation. Second one, very strong support from our top leader and also manager level. Our top management, they walk the talk and provide the fully support to the working team. Our CHRO is the sponsor of the project as well. And the last one would be on the employee engagement and communication strategy that we put in place. We would need to ensure that we engage all level of the employee and have the right stakeholder management and communication plan in place. And the last one, don't forget to engage your HR as well because they are the key person to help and deliver on the HR transformation.
Kunjurapol, we often hear that HR teams are unable to gain consensus and approval for their efforts since HR is competing with so many other investment priorities in the business. What have you seen some of the more successful clients do to ensure their efforts don't just get stuck?
Thank you, Rashmi. A successful transformation often comes from the top-down directions, and it does require a significant consideration on ecosystem of the organizations. One of our clients in the healthcare industry has carefully laid out the multi-year plan for its digital transformations. In their mindset, the digital transformation is not just implementing technologies for any specific department. It is entire organizations to change together, but in phasing approach. They identify upfront what need to change from the perspective of process, technologies, and people. They initiated the early stage of transformation by redesigning the business process on the paper first to get some ideas of the new business models. And then they're implementing technologies projects at the same time as upskilling their people. The people matters receive equal investment priority as any other projects because the plan has been laid out in advance since the beginning. The management recognized that without the people adapting to the new technologies, the transformation would not have the maximum impact and they would not achieve the desired level of return of investments.
What we've just heard is really aligned with what we at Workday have seen as well. As value managers, we work with our clients to help them understand and convey the true value of transformation. And we notice a few things. One, total cost of ownership is a well understood concept, but it focuses purely on technology. HR can tend to be fully HR focused, especially in the areas of efficiency by automating manual activities that may be consuming much of their time. However, the key to successfully gaining consensus for the HR transformation agenda really lies in how closely it can be tied to the goals and objectives of the business. So it's about making it not just the HR priority, but also a business priority. And listening to the case of the healthcare client that Kunjarapol just spoke about, it gives us more evidence for that. Kunjarapol, what changes are you seeing as part of the process of execution or implementation? And have customer expectations changed from transformation partners such as PwC?
We have always shared the lesson learned from our global Workday implementation projects. We always say that change management should start from day zero. We have seen some projects leaving the communication or training just before the go-live periods. It did not leave enough time for employees to embrace the new concepts or new operating models. Let me say this again. Changing technology platform is always a part of transformation journeys. Therefore, we leverage the strengths of modern technologies and apply to the business processes. So during the architect stage of Workday implementations, we often redesign new processes to be lean and efficient. However, it is easy to say than to execute. It requires a strong change champion and executive sponsorships to drive the changes. Conducting change management at the beginning of the project will help to accelerate the transformation projects. Workdays also provide the project team trainings upfront at the discovery stage, so the clients get to see the target operating models before the project start. In addition, Workday deployment models continue to keep HR users engaged throughout the implementation projects. With the cloud-native characters, users are involved doing the designs and configurations. We presented the prototype in the customer confirmation sessions, allowing users to look and feel of the target operating model and the platform that they'll be using. This helps clients to accept the solutions and communicate to others throughout the project period.
Now, transformation doesn't end with execution, especially since HR needs to drive very business focused goals. And this has changed the measures for success in any transformation. At Workday as well, we try to keep organizations focused on this aspect from day one. Realization of value is a culmination of various factors. And when we assess the benefits of transformation, we often see that successful organizations are the ones that kept the strong momentum. I would also love to hear from our panelists' experience of working on such transformations so we could make it a bit more real for our audience. Kun Ketima, if you could help me out here, can you describe some of the benefits you have experienced from the HR transformation at EIS?
The HR transformation as AS has led to an overall improved employee experience. Other benefits also included the first one is to streamline HR function with standardized global process, which is very important because we when we apply we can simplify and also make our life easier. The second one is we achieve end-to-end process automation to the employee life cycle. The third one is increased autonomy and empowerment. We enable our workforce to manage and also manager to manage their own data. The fourth one is we have the reliable one single source of data. So it's really reducing system maintenance effort that we have to spend. And the last one is, I think this is very important as well, is we reducing report preparation time and also engage more richer analytics data for the decision making as well.
Nikki, do you have anything to add based on your experience with other clients?
One of the most recent examples where we worked and supported a global real estate company with their Workday platform rollout. And it was rolled out to over 170 offices around the world. I think one of the key strengths of the Workday solution is the global business process framework and all the data that resides in a single environment. And in phase one, our team was very much focused on the global process design, the global templates that were pulled together to serve all 170 offices. In reality, when we rolled this out in Asia, as we always do, we faced some regulatory nuances and also some local culture nuances. So we had to revisit some of the global processes and the payroll templates in order to accommodate those needs. And at the end of the day, we were able to maintain the majority of the global design, but we did allow for some minor adjustments, which I think was to the great benefit of the client.
Thanks, Nikki and Kun Ketima. We also see similar metric results from many of our other customers as well, right? From automation and process, providing the strategic shift for HR in terms of focus, as well as improvements to employee engagement. All these go way beyond the conventional factors of TCO and efficiency that organizations might typically focus on as hard benefits. In fact, the real value of the transformation comes from how this aligns with the overall direction of the organization. On that note, Kun Ketima, how do you see the role of HR evolving with new technology and into the future?
The HR role has been redefined due to the changing world. It is remarkable that we can predict that the HR role tend to be disappear with when technology is in place, right, and replace our function. However, the HR role will not vanish, but it would be upgraded to be the HR business partner. That HR itself, you must ask ourselves that are we ready to become the HR business partner? Get a chance to present in the business meeting, acknowledge and also take a part in the setting organization goals, providing information in terms of the data analytics for the executive decision. This is the thing that we would need to really ask ourselves and make sure that we are ready for those kind of the change. As for the future of the HR strategy in AS, AS plan to implement hybrid working environment where employees can work anywhere and anytime as part of the digital disruption. Reskilling and also investing in our people would promote maximum human capital development. That would be make our people and organization can grow together in the future.
Great. And on that note, I wanted to say that we are at the end of this webinar discussion and we are now open for any questions. Please submit your questions in the Q&A box and we will try our best to answer them now.